My name is Susie Chick and I'm a qualified psychotherapist. I have a special interest and expertise in burnout and helping clients manage themselves out of burnout, particularly workplace burnout. I too experienced workplace burnout pretty badly a few years ago, so it's something that I have a really deep personal connection with and interest in, and really enjoy working with my clients in that area. Tough as it can be, there is a way out, there is help, that you can get support. So today I wanted to share with you my own personal burnout story, hopefully to help you guys understand burnout a bit more. And to structure this story, I'm going to use a 12-step model that was developed by two psychologists in the, I think, 1970s in New York, Herbert Freudenberg and Gail North. Herbert had his own burnout as a clinician, and what they developed was 12 steps of the signs of burnout heading to collapse. So I thought I'd talk you through those steps to hopefully inform what it is about burnout and how do we get to a place of burnout. So, okay, let's start. There's 12. Let's start with 1 and 2. 1 and 2, here we are. Compulsion to prove oneself, pushing yourself to work harder. Just move it this side, that's a bit better. For me, very much an A-type personality kind of person, so always looking to do a very good job, wanting praise, wanting validation, and working in a high-pressured corporate environment, quite competitive, quite ambitious. And then what happened with my story is that I also then started working on a project for a boss who didn't really rate me very highly. I'd never worked with him before, but he wasn't convinced about my capabilities and my skill and my competence. So you can imagine this was a red rag to a bull. I was like, right, I'm going to roll out my sleeves. I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to prove him wrong. And he's going to think I'm fantastic by the end of this project. So that is a dangerous combination. That's a perfect storm ready for a bit of burnout. So that's 1 and 2. Let's move on. 3 and 4. Neglecting your own needs, displacement of conflict. So neglecting your own needs, anything I could, I cancelled out of the diary, but mainly what this stage 3 is more about is I would definitely skip meals. Eating wasn't that important. I lost a lot of weight during this period. That wasn't just stress. I think it's just not taking in enough calories. I'd live off massive coffees and the odd biscuit. Terrible diet. Probably definitely sacrifice some sleep. I can just keep working. It's not that important that I sleep. Not that important that I sleep. I mean, think about that statement. And so certainly, lost weight. I think I even probably at my desk displaced even the need for going to the toilet and thought, no, it's far more important that I finish this email. So that's really neglecting your own needs. Then displacement of conflict, what that's about is not really taking accountability for my role in all of this. This is at the start of burnout. So it's the boss's fault. He's a tyrant. Oh, the client is so demanding. These deadlines. I seem to have no power, choice, control. I'm just a passive member going along on this. It's not my fault. So displacement of conflict, not taking accountability. So that really sets you up for a bit of burnout. So that's 3 and 4. Let's move on. 5. No time for non-work related needs. So just a bit like with the stage 3, this would be things like cancelling plans with friends and family, cancelling anything that you just wasn't work related. If it's not work related, if it's not helping me with my project and helping me do a good job and prove this boss wrong about who he thinks I am, I'm not interested. To the point that I think for me, it got to the point where I think friends just knew not to invite me to things because I was always going to bail. I was always going to say, well, no, I've got work. It's really busy at work at the moment. And all my conversations were about work. Work became the focus. I lost all perspective on any other areas of my life. Work was the priority and almost work was the only thing that mattered. So that's number 5. 6 and 7. We've got denial, impatience, withdrawal, lack of direction, and some cynicism thrown in there. So in terms of denial, a bit like displacement of conflict, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong going on here. I can cope. I'm Superwoman. I've got this covered. There is no issue. I might be losing weight at the rate of knots. I might have bags under my eyes. I might have nothing else in my life apart from work. But apparently, there is nothing to see here. There is no problem. So denial is a big stage, and also becoming quite impatient with other people who maybe aren't on the burnout train with me. People who have a life. People who maybe make mistakes, aren't wholly competent. We're human. Of course, we make mistakes, but I just would have a lack of tolerance for that kind of thing. So this is just slowly building up, and then with the withdrawal, lack of direction, and feeling cynical. So you're starting to withdraw from even though the work's important. It's almost like I wasn't quite present, and I'm certainly withdrawing from other aspects of my life. And I started to feel a lack of direction. I'm just doing this now, and I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this and where am I heading to? Where's the end goal in this? And feeling quite cynical as well about the organisation, about my bosses, about corporate stuff, that kind of thing. So it's all starting to build up. We're 6, 7, we're halfway through, heading to burnout. We've got 8 and 9. Changes to behaviour, and then 9 being depersonalisation, loss of contact with ourselves. So 8 changes to behaviour. I certainly, with the impatience before, I became quite snappy, quite irritable. I had a very short fuse. I was just starting to get quite emotional, quite sensitive to my emotions. This is very unlike me before. Everything felt quite heightened. And I was, just quite a prickly person probably to deal with. Probably not a very nice person to deal with. So changes to behaviour, definitely. I was not the same person that I used to be before burnout. Number 9, depersonalisation, loss of contact with ourselves. I started not really feeling, it's almost a bit dissociative. It's like, it is me, but it isn't me. I'd look at me in the mirror and almost be kind of surprised to see myself. Oh, yeah, here I am. This is me. I was losing contact with who I was. Losing contact with everything that I am. All I became was almost a bit like a work robot, almost, or work lemming, just Groundhog Day. And sometimes I talk about it being like, I talk about this period of my life feeling like it was on autopilot. I just flipped a switch and just went to work every day, including weekends, and that was my life. And I had no idea or sight about what was beyond that. So that's 8 and 9. Moving on. 10, 11. Inner emptiness, anxiety. 11, depression. So this, you're getting pretty bad now. This is like you're right near the end of your burnout, getting to burnout city. So kind of they're quite similar. I mean, anxiety and depression I always see as quite close cousins. They pretty much go hand in hand more often than not. A sense that there is nothing within myself. There's a void almost. There's a sense of, especially with the depression as well, meaningless. Things feel quite hopeless, quite dark. I'm in a tunnel and I can't even see the light. Or, I'm at the bottom of a well looking up and I can't see that there's any light at the end of all of this. So feeling quite really, really low and really depressed. And just going through the motions now. I'm on autopilot. I don't even know who I am anymore. I've lost complete sight. I'm in such a heavy fog. I can't find my way out. And it's really hard, like what point 10 was saying, to locate a sense of self. When I'm trying to locate that and get back to something that I recognise, there's just an emptiness there. It's just, I can't contact it anymore. And that can obviously lead to a lot of anxiety about lots of different things. And you can pinpoint it onto lots of different triggers. So that's 10, 11. So, and then, finally, ... stage 12, which is unsurprisingly mental, physical collapse. And mine was certainly, but I would say it was more mental than physical. Some people do have a physical collapse, and actually the body is amazing, and the body will say, right, I've had enough now. I'm now going to give you a situation that you're going to have to stop now. People, break legs going downstairs, hurt their backs. The body is quite an amazing thing where it will say, no, that's it now. You've just been ignoring me for so long. I'm now going to have to bring something really heavy your way that's going to stop you in your tracks. So I didn't quite have a physical collapse, but definitely had a mental collapse. One of the big moments that I remember, I was sitting in a meeting with a colleague, very innocent meeting, not high pressured. I think it was about an internal situation. It's nothing major. And I just started bawling my eyes out. This was very unheard of for me. And I couldn't stop crying. My eyes, the emotions were just so turned up to 11, and clearly I wasn't in a good place. And thankfully the colleague that I was with was lovely and really considerate and really kind and compassionate, and was asking me what's wrong. And I couldn't tell her. I didn't really know what was wrong. I've been ignoring all of these signs, all of these 12 steps I've been ignoring until it was too late. So that is my burnout story. And obviously, if you start to recognize some of those early steps, neglecting your own needs, that perfect storm of wanting to work really hard, being excessively ambitious, and then wanting to prove yourself, then you might be able to stop burnout before it gets to point 12, before it gets to collapse. If we can listen and notice this, then maybe we can stop it turning into something that is really quite difficult and painful. But let's see. So if you do recognise any of these steps, do reach out, talk to a therapist, get some help. Support is on hand. Absolutely give me a call, send me an email, and hopefully we can talk things through and help you through burnout. So I hope my burnout story has been useful, and I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, bye.